Hey everybody, it's Beth from Yoga and Reiki Bliss, and I wanted to pop in really quickly with a practice to open up a little bit through the front of the chest, the front of the shoulders, especially so that we can create a little more room for breath in our body, so that the lungs can open and fill with juicy breath. um, I'm utilizing this practice today as a way to kind of combat those moments when we feel really stressed and it feels overwhelming, like the stress is never going to come to an end. And I know for myself, when I feel that way, I tend to feel a little kind of down in the dumps and a little kind of closed off and in my own world. So in those moments, I really try to find other like-minded people to connect with, people that bring me joy. I try to be a little more vigorous in my activity, getting outside, taking a brisk walk, and of course, turning to my yoga mat to remind me that just like my body changes during my practice, what was tight doesn't feel so tight, what felt weak or turned off feels a little more alive and vibrant. It reminds me when I see those changes in my body that the changes in my internal world will also change. By no means is this a prescription or a solve everything kind of situation, but my hope is that it will give you a couple of tools that you can pull from when you're having those days that feel kind of low energy, where you feel depleted and you feel down in the dumps, that maybe it'll just give you a little uplift. So for our practice today, we're going to need a blanket, a block, and a strap. And let's hop on the mat. So I'd love to start standing at the front of your yoga mat. You're welcome to use your block at the front of your mat as you need to. And just take a moment to stand firmly in your feet. Try to sense your feet equally under your hips and that they're sharing the weights pretty evenly so that you're neither sinking into one side or the other, and that the weight isn't too far forward in your toes or too far back in your heels, right? You're really present, the weight of your pelvis just floating above your ankles, your ribs just floating above your pelvis, your shoulders, your head floating skyward out of the grounding of your feet. And let's find a breath in, and let's find a breath out. And when you inhale, let's take the arms out and rise them all the way up to the sky. Let's interlace the fingers and press your palms up to the sky. And when you exhale, we're going to make a little side bend over to your right and stay a moment and see if you can invite some breath into the left side of your waist, left ribs. And then when you inhale, come all the way up and take it over to the other side. Just opening up your ribs a little bit, opening up the doorway for your breath. And then when you inhale, we'll come all the way up. Let's take a swan dive over, hinge at your hips, your spine long for as long as possible. When the hinging stops, let your hands find your block or the earth. Let your head release, let your upper back release. When you breathe in, slide your hands up onto the fronts of your thighs. Lift your chest halfway, stretch your heart forward. Exhale, bow into yourself. Ground your heels with a breath in, sweep out, rise up. Exhale, swan dive again, hinge, hinge, fold, fold. Inhale, your hands to your thighs, lift your chest halfway up. Exhale and refold. Let's do that one more time, exactly like that. Breathe in, sweep out, rise up, gather all that breath in. Exhale, fold forward, bow to yourself. So all your goodness. Inhale, slide your hands to your thighs. Lengthen halfway up, your chest forward, your shoulders soft. Exhale, gently bow in. Inhale, sweep out, rise all the way up. And exhale your hands right into your heart. Let your arms release and take a few little shoulder circles back. Just feel the movement of your arms and your shoulder sockets. Feel the movement of your shoulder blades. And then we'll circle them forward. Doesn't have to be harsh, doesn't have to be big, just to feel the movement in your body. Good. All right, so here's where we're going to grab the strap. Now, with your strap, be pretty generous here. Maybe loop it up once or twice. but give yourself a little bit of room. You can always tighten it as we go. And we're going to start with the strap in front, pulled pretty tight. We're going to slowly take the arms up. As you take the arms up, see if you can notice if anything changed. Did your pelvis tip forward and make a big cow pose? Did your pelvis tuck under and make a cat? Could it be neutral? Did your ribs pop forward? Could they stay right over your pelvis? Did your head jut forward? Could it stay your ears sort of in line with your shoulders? And now we're going to start to take this back and down and see if one arm is trying to get there faster. Could they move at the same rate? And same idea. We're going to take the arms up, trying to keep everything head through the pelvis, pretty stable. We're trying to see, can the arms move at the same rate without bending, without curving anything? Now, if that felt pretty manageable and you want to tighten it up a little bit, go for it. But if anything changes, like your head, your shoulder, your ribs, your pelvis, then bring it back to where you were. Or even if it feels like one arm is getting there first and the other arm is bending, then give yourself some more room. Good. Keep going like that. Inhale your breath. Exhale your breath. Inhale and exhale. Let's do 2 more. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. All right. Go ahead and loosen your strap off to the side and now find your block. We're going to start by holding the block on the sort of short side. So the long side is parallel to your pelvis. And we're going to hold the block in your right hand. Again, we're going to try to keep the body from the feet to the head like Tadasana. And we're going to just take a little shoulder mobility for passing the block behind you and catching it with the other hand and bringing it in front of you. So just keep going like that. And notice if there's any temptation to kind of wiggle the hips around to make room for the block. Rather, can you move the arms with enough space that the block can sort of orbit you without you changing? We'll do one more pass like this. And then we'll take the block in your left hand and we'll reverse. And you'll notice if there's one shoulder that's, more willing to do this movement. If one shoulder feels freer, one shoulder feels tighter, right? So just pay attention. We'll do one more pass around like this. And then we'll potentially change. We'll take it on hold it on the long side. So now the short side is what you're going to connect. So now you have less room in your connection. All right, we'll start in the left hand this time. We'll circle it back behind you. Same idea. So noticing, do the ribs or anything change? Do the hips have to get out of the way? Can everything stay pretty much Tadasana? And one more pass like this. If this is too challenging or it's bothering your shoulders, but the first way was good, then come back to the first way and we'll take it with the right hand leading the movement. Good, no worries if it falls. One more pass around. All right, good. Go ahead and put your block down. Give things a little shake out. All right. And so from here, friends, let's find a blanket. And so we'll take a little moment of restorative yoga with some breathing, because a little rest and a little rest and a little breath go together. All right. So find your blanket in this sort of standard fold. Sometimes you'll find them that way on the shelf of the yoga studio. And we're going to fold it in half, in this case, from the short side to the short side, till it's almost like a book kind of shape. It's a smaller rectangular edging toward a square. And I'm going to run the short side of it parallel to the long side of my mat. And my bum is on the ground. And when I lay down, the placement of this blanket is such that it's supporting from my low back to the bottom tips of my shoulder blades. It's not a big surface area. But what it will do is it'll create a gentle little back bend. So that the bottom of the sternum, where the ribs meet the sternum, gets a little feeling of opening, a little stretch for the diaphragm and that main muscle of breathing that lives under the rib cage. And then we'll ease the back of the head to the ground, the backs of the shoulders to the ground. We'll just let the arms gently move out to the sides in a place of comfort. If the back of your head doesn't rest with ease, you could put a thin blanket to bring the earth up a little bit, but I don't want you to lose too much of this back bend. If this feels too extreme, then change your blanket fold a little bit, right? You can make it a little thinner, maybe even something like this, right? Just fold it in half that way. And you'll still cover about the same surface area, but it won't be quite as thick. Okay? I'd love you to keep the knees bent. So that you're less pull on your abdomen, less pull on your low back, but also it keeps us a little more attentive so that we don't drift off. Again, the arms just softening out to the side. If you want to walk the feet wide and tent the knees, you could do that. And find your way gently to your breath. Just feel your next breath in and feel your next breath out. And see if as you lie here for these next few moments, if the ribs can soften, the muscles along your back can soften, right? They don't have to make the back bend. They can receive the blanket. So you can let your fingers soften. Allow your jaw to unhinge. Even let the skin across your forehead, your brow, begin to soften and smooth out. And I'd love to bring in just a brief breathing practice, a pranayama practice, where we focus on the inhale. So start with your natural breath. Just feel your breath come in and feel your breath go out. And the next time you breathe in, let's take just a slightly longer inhale. And pause at the top of your inhale in that sort of full feeling of your breath in. And then let it go. And then return to your natural breath. The next time you inhale, take a full expansive breath in, like you could breathe all the way around your rib cage. Pause at the top of your inhale, and then let it go. And then return to your natural breath. Let's do it again together. And the next time you breathe in, take a full breath, trying to breathe again all the way around yourself, all the way around the circumference of your ribs. Pause at the top, and then let it go. Return to your natural breath. And check it in one more time on your own. Same little pattern. Full breath in, pause, release, and natural breath. Then linger in your natural breath, just enjoying the gentle swell of the inhale, the soft release of your exhale. Invite one more breath in when you're ready. And when you exhale, gently roll to one side. Use your top hand for a little support, just to come up enough that you can slide your blanket out and then return to your back for just a moment. You can rest your hands on your abdomen if you like, for a little bit of weight, just to feel into the movement of your breath. Sensing any movement in your upper abdomen. Sensing any movement in your rib sides, moving out to the sides. Even sensing any breath movement into your back against the earth. So you can stay connected to this life force of your breath. And with your next breath out again, we'll roll to the left side and just have a moment on your side to breathe. And then we'll use your top right hand for support to press all the way up to sit. And take a moment just to notice how you feel. Might notice how your breath feels, how your body feels. Certainly how your mind and your heart feel. All right, dear ones, I hope that was useful to you and that just gives you one or two more things to explore for yourself in those moments of stress. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please share it with your community. If you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube page, please do so. And again, to find out more about me and our classes, please visit our website, thisisyourbliss.com. Stay well, and I'll look forward to seeing y'all real soon.